Alright, and we are recording. Hello everyone, my name is McWizwam Dinkle and I am your host for today's episode of the Mindless Show. Now today we are filming a second part to our promotional material, the previous part being the Cards Against Humanity game, which will be linked in the description below. Now, to get us started, we're going to be talking about popularity. Yes, popularity. All things popular, why they're popular, and how they affect us in our brains, because brains exist. So today's special guests, we have Mr. Bubbles. Come on down. He's back. He's black.
That's
usual.
racist.
That's not racist.
We got a new guest.
Hi, Snoopy.
Come.
In addition to Mr. Bubbles, we have
My pet minion.
we have
I've been
Snoopy.
expecting you.
He has a good opinion on things. And we have Magic Mike come down.
Oh,
Come
we've
down
been
like a
expecting
friend.
you, Magic Mike.
If the lighting seems a bit off, we do apologise about that. It's a bit,
Basically, the moon decided that it'd be a good idea to plant itself in our space, I guess. That's
Oh,
what
really?
we're looking at. Not really, no. Technical issues.
the light stopped working. Yeah. Alright, so, like I said, we are doing popularity, my good friends. As an FYI, for when...
Is this bestiality what this dog's doing right now?
I wouldn't
I
call
don't
it
know.
that.
For those wondering when Season 2 of the Mindless Show will come out, it will come out on the 5th of November.
Too late if you ask me.
2016, of course. Alright, hello my good boy. So, popularity, my friends. What is popularity and how has it affected us?
Well, it's a very big thing in society. It's a bit hard to pin down just to one definition, I guess. If I were to sum it up in some sort of term, I'd just say popularity is how, how well known you are in a community, and whether that, attention you're getting from the community is good or bad. Like, it can be popular for good reasons, you can be popular for bad reasons. You know what I mean?
Yes, everything is considered popular. Everything well known is popular. Hitler, he's popular. You might hate him, some might like him, God forbid.
Yeah, a lot of these are popular
But
as
he's
more
popular.
More of these are popular as like sometimes a concept or as just a generalized
You
topic.
see him in everything.
But sometimes they're popular because people follow them.
It can also be summed up as being famous or infamous.
Yes.
What's the difference between famous and infamous?
Famous is basically you're it's sort of like you're more respected
Yeah,
for what you've done,
yeah,
but infamous is
famous
more...
you're really not kind of respected. Maybe you're famous because you're against the law, like a...
Like Hitler was infamous. Like
Yeah.
what he did was made him infamous.
Yeah, big time.
Hello, Tucky. He's
Probably more than...
going crazy today.
It's so like, I guess... And I feel like certain people, like, as much as I hate to say it, certain people like Donald Trump fall between the gap of famous and infamous, popular and unpopular.
Yeah, he knows how to work his crowd because he was on the
Very
show. What was he on? Was the
Can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, he's on obviously on a TV show where he fires people.
Oh,
The Apprentice?
Bachelor?
No, The Apprentice.
No, Celebrity Apprentice.
Celebrity Apprentice. That's the
That's
one.
it.
Or it's just The Apprentice. So yeah, so he knows how to work the audience.
Millionaire
So of course
Apprentice.
he knows how to work his own audience in his political campaign. That's hence why he has such a big chance of winning. Yes, of course he says some really crazy shit, but it's a long campaigin, so it makes sense.
And he's still, he's very popular amongst the people that he has sort of gotten on his side, you know what I mean?
Yes, no, yeah, he's
So,
because popular people can change a lot of people's ideologies and the way they think of the world. Even their philosophies, of course. A lot of people in Germany ended up were convinced by Hitler to become Nazis. So,
But it's not just people, it's themes. Star Wars, Star Trek, movies, games.
so popular things from film and TV. And
They came from
popular
ideas,
culture. Yeah.
cultures.
even in theatre, because I'm studying theatre this year, we looked at something called epic theatre or Brechtian theatre. For those of you who haven't studied theatre, which is mostly you guys,
Yes.
Brechtian theatre, the idea behind it is it focuses more on the political values of the play. It doesn't want you to get invested in the characters, it wants you to get invested in the topic.
Yeah,
it wants you to get interested in...
So it's more of kind of like you analyse further past the characters and more of the themes
Exactly.
of the... Okay.
Like, you look more into the message you're trying to produce. Like, you watch a scene, and I feel like a good quote for this would be, I don't connect with the characters. I don't go along with the trope. I follow the political value. I laugh when they cry. I cry when they laugh.
Like in business, Apple, people don't just go there just for their new iPhones, new iPads. They go for their service, their So hospitality service gets them to come in here, welcomes them, when really they don't even know what's behind closed doors.
Yeah. And that's why even in specific films like the Jobs or Steve Jobs films, they explore these famous people and what really happens in their lives, and that's why it's popularity for a lot of famous people that have been on TV. They're famous because they have such a bad, like, kind of, I guess you could say a bad reputation, so kind of infamous, but people can aspire to look at them. Say, for instance, the Kardashian family, like Kim Kardashian is famous, well, not just because of her porn video, like, but
that's massive ass.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons that she's so famous and so, I guess in that case, popular.
Yeah.
But more well known in this case. But of course, her family history goes back to like her father and how he was related to the case with what was the guy's name who killed his supposedly or actually did kill his wife? They had a TV thing on it.
I don't remember.
Recently, O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
one,
he
O.J.
was actually a
Simpson.
friend of O.J. Simpson, so he became in the media because of that.
yeah.
So, and of course they have shows like the Keeping Up with this person or Keeping Up with that person. So a lot of reality is thrown into what makes someone popular.
Another thing is, you don't have to look as far as going to television. You can even find examples of this on YouTube. For example, people like Leafy is Here, H3H3 Productions, like PewDiePie, like I mean more of these
Smosh.
people. I mean more of these two people specifically,
Just to
because
be
they do take the shit out of people, which is funny. Like, it's funny to watch.
Yeah, they make
But
a satire out of
yeah,
someone. Yeah.
but at the same time, they cop a lot of hate, but they're still pretty famous for it.
Yes.
You know, you either love or you hate Leafy. You either love or hate H3H3.
It's like,
There's no in between.
It's like Filthy Frank. Like
exactly.
people hate him, but that's usually why he's so popular because
Yeah.
of how horrible a kind of character he is. Because he's not a real person; he's a character created by this other guy. And
Yeah, he's got this, really dark sense of humor that a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like. But at the same time, you do get a certain amount of people who do like that kind of shit, like me, because I'm messed up.
You always remember the bad things people do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why these people stand out. So, and it's interesting. I find it interesting as to what they do with their popularity. Because some people are just basic enough for like, oh, I'll release a clothing brand or just do something merchandise-wise so they can get more money out of that or some kind of revenue. Or some people like, I guess you could say people on YouTube. They do a lot of, I guess you could say weird shit in a case to get more popular.
I need to go.
Oh, okay.
Grandmother's sick and I only have one arm for some reason.
Okay, well,
See you.
it's been good having you, man.
Yep,
Thanks for
good.
joining the show.
Yep, it was nice and ta-ta, enjoy the show.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Yeah, so sorry about that sudden cut. Julio, make not a thing.
Alright, so we are back. Unfortunately, Magic Mike has left the show because he has personal problems coming in. So instead we have a replacement guest. Zamer, the person who has a fucking t-shirt on.
Advertising for someone else, are you, Mr. Zamer? Some of you might recognize these t-shirts.
This is a perfect example of what popularity does. See,
It's just I am
Merchandise.
fabulous, so that's why I got it. I needed a top promoting myself.
Okay, how about this? What about this? If it wasn't a brand by a famous YouTuber, would you still have bought? Would you have been more just as inclined to buy it, or would you have been less inclined to buy it?
I probably would have still bought it.
Okay, but would you feel like you'd be less inclined to do it, or would you just have done it out of impulse?
because you've got more bias to buying it because it has Markiplier's
Well,
face
it
on
is
his
depending.
quotation.
Yeah, it is depending on what exactly like the font was and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so
the
it's
design
just
and layout,
because
yeah.
I saw it and I just thought that part was funny because I know it from him. Plus, it's
Yeah.
a funny thing. I don't really care about the face, but it's.
Hey, Rex.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have got.
Oh, I think Mr. Ohman has created our music for our show.
Yes,
Is this the
is
part
it?
where we harmlessly promote our other interview show? No? Okay,
Fine.
later then.
Up, Rex, come on.
Hello, Rexy. Hello, boy. Come on up, boy. Oh, here comes Snoopy.
Oh, here comes Snoopy.
Yep, so we've got
Snoopy's looking like, you motherfucker, get me
Mr. Ohman has
Oh my
provided myself and Mr. Bubbles here with music for a second show that we're doing because that's what you can do with popularity. You can extend your form of popularity. Not saying that we in
straight
particular
Oh my
are
god.
popular, but now that we have
Oh,
dogs,
hi.
we are more popular than ever. Oh my
Hi.
god, dogs.
Dogs.
Hi.
Now you need to make sure you have boobs in the thumbnail. Like,
I
it
never
could be-
have boobs in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So you got Rexy and Snoopy. Snoopy will be occasionally popping up in season 2.
Oh, we got
So Mr. Bubbles and Szamer. Unfortunately, Magic Mike will not.
and they're gone. Yeah. So anyway, back to popularity.
Do you want to unlock the door so I can go outside, Sam?
Ugh.
All right, Zama will be back soon.
In the meantime,
We call him Zam for short. Okay, occasionally.
Sam or Sam?
Zam.
Zam. McZamaram, as
Yeah.
I believe Mr. Faggot Face calls him.
Yeah, we just call him
Every now
Zam
and
for
then.
short occasionally. Just, if you hear Mr. McWizwam Dinkle or myself saying something that sounds like we're saying Sam, it's just really terrible mic quality. We're just saying Zam. Z-A-M.
Yeah,
Zam.
pronunciation is not very fun.
Not our strong suit.
And let's segue it in. Pronunciation when it comes to popularity, like famous people, their ability to
Enunciate and
to
pronounce.
enunciate and pronounce. I guess it's a vital aspect of what they know, how they talk, and how they express themselves to people.
That's another interesting thing. Use of language with popular people. Like, you see, like, I see people like a lot of politicians and that kind of thing who use very sophisticated words, very strong words that the general masses would probably not understand. And, this sort of, I don't know, leads to a bit of miscommunication in some cases.
Yes, it can. Yes, and that's again can be a downfall of this popular person because they use bigger words to make themselves sound smarter, but sometimes even they don't know what the hell they're saying, so they don't actually know if they need to emphasize on this word or if they just throw it in there because they improvise it. So they just throw it in there thinking that they think it means that they're more like that their priorities and that what their party, for example, say Trump, for example, that what their party's ideals are makes them more popular. But instead, it might actually subdue that and make them sound more like twats.
It's like my English teacher says to us all the time when we were making an essay. He says, "Don't use fancy words if you don't know what they mean, because you'll make yourself."
English teacher?
Mr. Finger.
Okay.
He said, don't use fancy words if you don't know what they mean, because you'll just sound like an idiot.
Yes.
If you unless you understand what they exactly mean, like you don't want to use literally the word sophisticated if you're trying to describe a very simple thing.
Yes.
So the simple device had quite a sophisticated mechanism. It's like that doesn't make any sense. You just said it was simple. Why did you use that word?
Yeah, if it's a simple device. But again, that might just be how it's presented as a simple device, but it has a sophisticated meaning on the inside because of like all the time, like a watch. Like it's a simple, small device, but on the inside it has all this clockwork and stuff, which for the people who created it will be simple. For people who don't know how to create it, is sophisticated.
Or it'd be like saying the foods taste. You had a meal. Like say I bought a chicken schnitzel. Terrible example. I bought a chicken schnitzel and I eat it, and someone said to me, "How does it taste?" And I say to them, "It tastes very sophisticated." It's like, does that mean it's a fancy meal? Does it mean the taste is just hard to describe? Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And how are we going into talking? Like, it's not, no.
It was just how popular people speak.
Okay.
Like
How about topics, like certain issues or topics that popular people would, certain popular people address, and how people, like how that affects their reputation?
Yeah, so how they see it, it's more of like this popular person's broader view on the world and how it affects them, and so they want to kind of incorporate them into their own persona, like their famous persona.
One thing I want to just mention briefly here, and we don't have to talk much about this, is the whole YouTube drama thing. That's a good example of popular people taking up different points, like just the chaos, like for example, just the KSI and PewDiePie argument, how they both had two fairly different points, and they had they had a huge divide in the YouTube community, like a massive divide, just because these two very popular YouTubers disagreed on one point, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah, like I wouldn't expect that everyone who is on the same team, so everyone who works on YouTube and everyone who works on a TV show or works on a political campaign, they won't always have the same ideals that maybe even they try to promote or that people think that they promote. So
let me just quickly check something. Keep going.
So it's just interesting. What do you think about this? It's a very interesting. Like, this can be kind of.
Yeah, so the topic's popularity.
Popularity, yes.
So what exactly have you guys covered so far?
We talk about what popularity is, but we didn't come up with a very sound definition because it can vary. and we talked about.
I can look up the dictionary definition for you too.
It's just. I'm guessing the dictionary would just say.
Yeah,
lots
well,
of
we
people
all know what popularity is. So
Yes.
what is your how are you affected by people's popularity? Like you being a
as
YouTuber.
in my popularity, or
Well, yeah, how your popularity influences people that you talk to or people who watch your videos.
Well, I always like to act myself.
Yeah.
It's well, depending on like who it is.
So you
Like
won't
I
be
might
kind
act
of-
slightly different to someone else just because, like, let's just say like the like the censoring type thing.
Yeah.
How like some people you don't want to swear around and that type of thing. So
Yeah,
that's
yes.
one thing. But like I be myself towards other people, like all my fans that talk to me, and same with on YouTube. Unless I need to be professional, like the video that I just recorded, that was a promotional thing for Stellaris.
Ah.
So I had to do a first look review, and I needed to be like professional, but myself as well.
And so in this case of promotionals, actually, was someone actually like telling you, hey, could you like promote my game? kind of
Yes,
thing?
it was basically something like that. I was paid to play it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they gave me the game for free.
So that's how popularity can also work. It can,
Yeah.
say for example in YouTube, this has been a big kind of controversy so far with like Let's Plays, how people can decide on if they want to buy games just by watching Let's Play videos and like watching PewDiePie, Markiplier, Achievement Hunter, and maybe if these people have like a bad view on the game, sometimes they could feel badly collectively, or if it's a sole person they might think that it's a shit game, and all the sales for the game could just cease. I think that happened with, did PewDiePie have a bad thing with Firewatch or something like that?
No, it was that Dragon Cancer.
Oh, Dragon Cancer, yeah, so stuff like that can happen through popularity.
Yeah, because it was an extreme story base. There was like basically no gameplay at all. So when the YouTubers played it, everybody was like, "Oh, I don't need to buy this game because
because the
I've just
story's
seen
just
the whole
being
entire thing."
revealed. Yeah, so it's for story-based games, unless it's like even maybe I guess games that are like say The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, like Telltale games where you have
Multiple
specific
choice
choice.
games.
Yeah, the multiple choice games.
Oh, Life is Strange as well is a good
Yeah,
one.
Life is Strange. They're perfect examples of games that you could still watch people play. It might spoil certain aspects of the story, or you could choose different things when you play the game. Because you're like, I still want to experience this game for myself. I want to immerse myself in the characters and that kind of stuff. And you choose to do that. So that's also inflicted by this person's popularity for how their opinion could influence yours.
I feel like I prefer whenever I want to get a game, I do occasionally watch a Let's Play just to see what it's like. But usually what I'll do is I'll find a channel that does, I don't have a specific channel, but I choose a channel that does a sneak peek type thing. So they play like maybe
First look review.
yeah, like so like that. Like they play the
Yeah,
first.
so they play like
Yeah.
like a small period of the game that's not big mass.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like the start of this game, I think you guys should play it.
Yeah,
like, link in the
that's
description
exactly what I
kind
do.
of shit,
At the end of the video, I basically say my own opinion. So like Stellaris, I was like, holy crap, this game is fantastic, and I'm not even through the tutorial yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was $40, but that's because you will spend like tons of hours on it.
Yeah, there's
Like you can spend up to 100 hours just playing one game.
what is it? Funhouse
One
has a video series called $1 an hour. So pretty much you buy a game that's $1 or less, and for that amount of time, like you have to play. You should be able to play that amount of hours. So if it's $1, it's 1 hour kind of thing. So if it's $60, it should be $60. I think that's 'cause some kind of people have ideologies like that where they think specifically that kind of way, and so it's
In that case,
yeah.
then that would mean that the order 1886 would have been like $5 to sign that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are games, again, and this is also based on popularity. So some people think, like, companies, for example, are incredibly popular. Activision, Ubisoft release big games like Assassin's Creed and...
What I reckon for
and
that
whatnot.
stuff is that the payment for games should be dependent on how much the creators used to make it.
Okay.
Because so like indie developers, if they've got everything for free, then and like you have to pay for the game, and that's I just kind of think that's stupid. They've only used their time.
They still, yeah,
They haven't
but they
used-
still
they
have
haven't
put their
used their
time.
own money.
They have put their time and effort into
yeah,
it, so
so
they've
then,
wasted
like,
time where they could be
The
going
AAA
there,
games, they
get
spend
paid.
hundreds of thousands of dollars actually making the game because
So
they
have
have
you-
to.
are you
The
saying-
workers have to get paid
Yeah.
to actually make the game and
But,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
So are you suggesting
yeah.
that the people should buy games like a game that costs like $1 billion to make? That people should pay $1 billion?
No, to like
buy it.
Like the $60 type of thing.
Yeah.
So like make it a high price because there's going to be more people to pay for it because if one person pays $1 billion for it, then they've just consumed.
But the thing is, so you got to sort of think about the whether the game's good or not, whether the game itself is
that as well
worth paying for,
$60.
and DLC of course. So there's also the little extra things like season passes and
It's like
pre-orders and stuff like that.
It's like I'm just going to take an example from this Call of Duty Ghosts. Very hyped, a lot of money. I think there was a lot of money put into making that game, and it turned out awfully. Everyone hated it.
Poor reviews, and of course reviewers, of course, afflict person's opinions from popularity.
This is one thing I'm going to bring up as well.
Rotten Tomatoes.
To do with popularity, all right? Reputation.
Yes.
How does your reputation or someone else's reputation affect your popularity?
Yeah, that's also true because a lot of people could collaborate on videos.
Exactly how
and
Jacksepticeye was started.
Yeah, because he started with Markiplier.
No, he didn't.
Didn't he? I thought that was
PewDiePie did this thing, and so Jacksepticeye won, and PewDiePie promoted his channel, and then because PewDiePie's got millions of people,
he's got such
they all went to his,
right,
and then
so
most of them liked
I thought
it.
he
and
played like a Let's Play with Markiplier and he got more famous.
That was one of the things he
that
did.
was
But
so that
how
really kicks it up.
Jack became the fastest growing YouTuber because of PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know how many billions of people watch PewDiePie,
So many
but
people
they
watch
all
it,
went to one channel and then they all subscribed. So the subscriber thing went shut up further than Markiplier.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
and this is one thing interesting. Going back to the video game things. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a fan of Call of Duty. I don't mind a good Call of Duty game.
Yeah, my favorite ones are World of War and Modern Warfare.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm a fan of Battlefield. And if any of you, if you haven't been living under a rock, I'm sorry to say it this way, if you haven't been living under a rock, you would have seen the like to dislike ratio of the newest launch trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is basically a remaster, like a sequel to the Modern Warfare series.
That is one thing about that. There's a lot of dislikes, mostly because a lot of people can't watch it. Because a lot of kids who play Call of Duty want to play the game, but YouTube has a thing where it was like
Age restriction.
Yeah, age restriction. So a lot of people who wanted to go and see it, they couldn't watch it because they had to actually log in. That they have the age restriction stuff.
There is that, but there's also the addition of
and
like.
so just let me
Yeah,
finish for a second.
go for it.
You might think, oh, they can't go onto the video, so how are they disliking it? You can go onto the video, it doesn't pop up. You can comment whenever you want, you can like or dislike, you can share it or whatever, you just can't watch it. That's why people disliked it, because they went on and it's like, oh, age restriction. Crap, I can't watch this for another 3 years.
Then it was also, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. Battlefield is kind of a new game, Battlefield 1, and it looks amazing. And the like to dislike ratio in that, from what I know, is amazing. Like, a lot of people are really hyped for it, and I'm hyped for it as well. I love to get Battlefield 1 when it comes out. And I want to get Infinite Warfare when it comes out. But, at the same time, because of their reputations, I'm really leaning a lot more towards Battlefield, because although Hardline was terrible, Battlefield has made about 3 out of 4 or 5 decent games. You know, like,
whereas Call of Duty have a different thing. And then even I think some of the dislike ratio for the Call of Duty one is also because they specifically said if you pre-order the game, you get the remastered version of Modern Warfare.
And everyone.
And I think isn't it just solely for if you get the pre-order or something
Yeah,
like that?
that is one thing, but then I know someone had they said, oh, you can just wait 6 more months and then you'll get, it'll become a standalone thing.
Okay, yeah, because that
I don't know if
might
that's
piss people
true,
off, being like, oh, but I want to
yeah,
play this because it's one
just
of my favorite.
cash grab.
Yeah, it's just a cash grab, yeah, so that is also can be applied to how popularity affects people.
And
Because
how
they
about-
could just, just get things for cash grabs.
And what do we broaden the spectrum of this, alright? AAA game designers versus indie game designers, right? The reputations of the both. Let's discuss the reputation of a huge multi-million-dollar company, which can on occasion, be outstripped by a single or a small handful of indie developers. Like how can reputation affect that?
Reputation. Well, let's see. It depends on a lot of things. A lot of it could be the word of mouth, but it can also be a creative approach because people might be like, oh, look at Ubisoft and like how they hate like Assassin's Creed Unity because it was so like incredibly hyped, but it had a lot of poorly done mechanics
They
in the
fucked
game.
up the new engine.
Yeah, and they screwed up a lot of stuff. But then they're like, oh, but let's look at this indie game. It's much cheaper and it's got much more better reviews. And it's a much more beautiful game. It's got more artistic quality to it. It's not just the idea of, hey, look, I can find a play Assassin's Creed with 4 different people. It's I can play this really beautiful, wonderful game, and that's why indie games can always be considered better than bigger, more what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? I can't remember it. Pretty much big game series like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Like indie games can beat them for creative reasons. So it's depending on the audience. So it's how the audience reflects on this stuff.
Yeah, the only thing is the
Sure.
the AAA can pay for hype
Yes.
while indie can't, so the
Yeah.
popularity
So
will go up.
so the popularity for
because,
indie
like,
needs word of
yeah.
mouth, whereas word of mouth isn't really necessary for AAA titles because you might already know the company, you might already know the game series, and they have much more promotional material for the games,
Yeah.
and it just works much better for them.
And here's hoping, and this is just a little off topic here, here's hoping that with Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, they do it justice. Alright? I don't want to see another Ghost fucking,
Well, it is made by the
campaign.
same. It is made by the same company who did do Ghost, but that was the first because the company
Treyarch.
did the Treyarch did. I think it's Treyarch. Yeah, they did the original.
I know they did the
Yeah.
original.
They did the original
Treyarch.
3 games, and then Activision jumped into World of War, and World of War really kicked up a notch with the whole series, both campaign, graphics, everything,
Zombies.
and zombies, of course. So this company came back after like a lot of them were fired, and they came back anew for Ghosts, and of course it wasn't that good, but I think it was maybe a pretty good effort for a new team. Maybe not. I haven't played it.
It was just the story, the campaign.
Was
Blah.
terrible.
It was,
Yeah.
I absolutely love stories, but that was blah.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense at all, even for me. It's the multiplayer that got people, but it still wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like they added new things. The AI was extremely smart. It's just everything else about it was just like.
Yeah,
No,
and so
it's-
maybe in that time they've improved.
It's a blah.
Infinite Warfare. Yeah, so it takes time for companies to get on
Oh my God.
their feet again.
Advanced Warfare, man. Jesus Christ.
Is that good or bad?
Supply drops everywhere. Oh my god.
Okay. As a player of Advanced Warfare, I'm just going to say this is really off topic. The guns, I'm really under.
Is that the Kevin Spacey one?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's-
Kevin
it's-
Spacey one. Story was
I love. There was one certain gun that I absolutely loved.
the Bile or is
The one with the scope that clicked, like it was 2 different scopes.
Uh,
I don't know what gun it was.
Sniper
It's just
rifle?
it was the default gun.
I really hope we don't get hate for the fact
Start off on
that
a
some
block.
of us have played Call of Duty and some of us like.
but
so-
like it was like
It's just
two
a computer
two
game.
square things
Oh,
that
people have their
you needed
opinions.
to zoom in. The second one would connect to the first one.
I
I don't know what it was
But yeah,
called, but
no,
yeah,
Advanced
it was really
Warfare,
cool.
it was-
I just like that.
yeah.
that thing. Yeah.
No, sorry. Advanced Warfare, exo jumps, fucking, the weapons really unbalanced, and then you had the fucking, oh my god.
They were all balanced in Black Ops 3.
Oh my
Like
god.
the weapon, the
I
jumping.
love
like,
Black Ops 3, I'm so sorry.
everybody loves Black Ops 3.
I got the fucking, I got the, what's it called?
Except for the
M8,
zombie campaign.
I got the MX,
So what fun was the zombie campaign? I thought it was
It's-
actually really creative. Oh, I've seen gameplay of it. I haven't personally played it. I've only seen
Story-
gameplay of it. So again, I'm
It's-
coming
okay,
from the
so
perspective
you've
of
got-
someone watching.
If you
people
play
play
it straight after the campaign, it's horrible.
Okay, because the
The,
campaign's
um,
better and has better mechanics.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no,
Or-
The zombies campaign.
The zombie campaign is exactly the same as the first campaign, the original campaign.
Yeah.
It's just there are zombies.
It's pretty
They've got the exact same cutscenes. Which, why would you do that? Just pay a little bit more extra money and make new cutscenes.
But why should they?
They've got the exact same cutscenes with overlay of sound.
Oh, that's
Someone
that zombies.
talking
Sorry,
over
I'm
that.
talking about a different zombies. I'm talking about
Oh,
one
no,
where
no.
you like
Oh, no, no.
1920s or
The
40s
camp-
people.
no,
Oh my God.
that's good. The
Yeah.
campaign.
The campaign
I was
one.
going to
no.
say, like,
campaign-
I was going
yeah,
to say, I
sorry.
had to admit, Shino Numa isn't great. I was going to say, Shino
Because
Numa
that's
isn't
just
great.
that's like
No.
as if it's an added difficulty to it, like
Oh,
it's
no, no.
like easy, medium, hard zombies kind of thing.
Oh.
And I'm talking about more of the actual zombies when we have the aliens and shit coming after
Yeah,
you.
it was really stupid because like there were zombies and then there was freaking gods, like and demigods. You had to kill them and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
But then
It's Call of Duty.
But they went back to the sort of similar
Exactly, it's Call
formula.
of Duty.
It just didn't make sense. Like the whole, they just screwed that.
I think I had to admit when I thought that they were doing another transit with Shadows of Evil, but I'm so glad that they tied it back in with the old guys. I'm really happy about that. I thought it was gonna be another transit crew type thing. Like have four maps where it's based around these 4 new guys, and then suddenly jump to Origins again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'm glad that it was a case of they tied it in well-ish. Like I thought it was a bit iffy with having I can't remember his name. Rick Toffin. Having Rick Toffin suddenly appear, take the orb and go. But after that, it tied up nicely. It sort of continued on the story, and it was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I think as a final thing to top this off, reflecting back on the YouTube popularity, but also mainly the this is what Magic Mike and I were talking about on the way here. It was specifically how trying to reflect back on the whole conversation. Pretty much how when it comes to platforms like YouTube that we're on now, how you wanna reflect. You want the audience to like you. So you kind of aim for the things that give you popularity, new things or very wacky things. So it's kind of one of the two. So obviously you've got Let's Plays like PewDiePie, Markiplier who play with new games because they have money for it, and other startup YouTubers get popular because they're playing new games that people haven't seen before. And
That's exactly what happened to me. I for like a whole month or two, for the first look reviews, bought a new game. Like when it first came out that week, reviewed it, and then did that type of thing. I lasted 2 months, ran out of money, and then I couldn't do anything other than that.
Yeah, so that's just the kind of idea of how, because that's what Magic Mike was. God, I hate calling him that, but he's the one who should he was pretty much suggesting, like, if I want to do something like being on YouTube, I gotta have audience react, I gotta be able to talk with the audience and stuff like that. But there's also the idea of we should release things that are very new and that can react new with people. So for season 2, we do talk about some topics that were recent with us at the time. So bad movie talk, which is a coming up one. We talk about a specific new film at the time that had gotten really bad reviews but had been really, really hyped. And so that would have worked really perfectly had we released it then.
Type down in the comments below what your guess is, and we will let you know.
We'll let you know.
In about a month's time.
Those who guess it can be happy about themselves.
Yes, they'll be glad.
It's the moral obligation of, yay, I guessed right.
We'll, I know we'll tag you in the video. Put your names down in the description.
Congratulations to this person for guessing the right film. Julia could do that if he ever remembers. Hopefully.
I'll make sure Julia remembers.
I hope he does.
We'll just get.
It might be in the description section. Might not be on screen. Yeah. So yeah, I think we good to end it up here. No one else has any final things they want to shove in before we cut this off?
Not really. I guess.
There's a part, but that would take ages to talk about, so don't bother.
Okay, so good. All right, thank you all so much for watching another episode of the Mindless Show. God, your hands are weird. I saw on the thing, I thought it was like a loading circle. I got really confused. So this is, again, promotional material for Season 2. We have been talking about popularity in every shape and form that it takes place in. I am your host, Mike Dinkle. For those wanting the story of what happened to Bob Dinkle and Barry Berry, you'll find out in the premiere of Season 2, coming November 5th to Telecreation. So please subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to find that when it comes. Which you'll know it comes on Saturdays. My guests, I'm joined by Mr. Bubbles. Thank you again so much for coming along. Same as Szamer and Magic Mike. And the dogs of Rexy and Snoopy and Indigo constantly barking. Hooray! New set. Hooray. Again. There's so much stuff because I've realized this comes out way before Season 2. So there's a lot of stuff here that's all new. All new for all of you guys.
New and exciting.
The description section, for example, is actually a really prominent part. I do suggest you take a look at it for further credits, as well as take a look for who made the music for this show. Credit to Zachary. Zachary? No, it's just Zac Ohman, isn't it? Yeah, Zac Ohman for creating the
Not me.
intro. No, this is Mr. Bubbles. It's a different Zac.
Because you pointed at me.
Man. I was asking you for.
Oh, no, it's Zac Ohman.
Yeah, Zac Ohman.
Still
Nice guy.
bad at that.
No, it was.
You're both still bad at
No,
the
I was
names
asking. It wasn't that. No, I was asking him if it's Zac or Zachary.
Yeah, but still,
just
like,
for his, because he
the,
knows
the
his,
names
we know his
thing
name.
with the people on
I've only been
thing.
on for,
you're
I've
so
only been
good.
on for one
We don't
season,
get
man.
better at calling people by names. It's fucking weird.
I've only been on for one
So yeah, so please feel free to like and subscribe for more Mindless Show, and if you enjoyed the episode, of course. If you have a suggestion for a further topic that you want us to talk about in Season 2 or Season 3, if that happens, then please, this comment section, all open for all of you guys. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Mindless Show, and we will see you in November, which is the past for us, but the future for you. Time travel. It's fun.
The present for them.